Hello, this is Dr. Grande. Today I will analyze the case of Sara Burack. First I'll look at the background of this case, move to the timeline of the crime, then offer my analysis. Sara Burack was born on November 15, 1984, and lived in Southampton, New York. This is on Long Island. She went to college and earned a bachelor's degree in business administration. In April 2012, Sara started working as a real estate agent for a company called Nest Seekers International. This is a luxury residential commercial brokerage. Sara worked out of the Hamptons. During an interview, she explained how she had always been intrigued by real estate projects. She selected a career as an agent after becoming a summer property manager in a house that she would rent. In August 2020, Netflix released a reality show called $1 Million Beach House, which followed a number of agents working for Nest Seekers, including Sara. The description for the series read, quote, "The competition is fierce and the drama undeniable as a group of young and hungry agents try to seal the deal on luxury listings in the Hamptons," unquote. Sara appeared in the series, although her role was very limited. The show was dropped by Netflix after just 6 episodes. It was then picked up by Discovery Plus and retitled Selling the Hamptons. The rebranded version ran for 2 seasons with 8 episodes each. Sara did not appear in the new version. I watched a few episodes of both shows. They were not very good. Essentially, they involved a bunch of young agents trying to sell expensive properties designed by builders with questionable taste, as they become entangled in unnecessary and repetitive interpersonal disagreements. The most interesting part of the episodes is how the agents were not really anything special, yet appear to be very convinced of their own importance. One takeaway from the show is that any real estate agent can succeed in the Hamptons as long as they can master 6 key phrases when showing an expensive property. Look at this view, it's breathtaking. This decor blends the old with the new. This house is timeless. This house is great for entertaining. Look at how much light is let in. And this computerized toilet plays classical music. In the Hamptons, people don't buy homes. They buy the illusion that a tasteless, overbuilt architectural Frankenstein will somehow ease their existential pain. Moving back to the story, after her brief appearance on $1 Million Beach House, Sara continued working in real estate sales in the Hamptons. Starting in early 2022, she appeared to develop severe mental health symptoms. According to a former lover, Sara was taking Adderall in order to work longer hours. She became paranoid and believed that people were trying to put anthrax in her food. She claimed that she was being harassed, taunted, and extorted by members of the community. Her colleagues were among the people who she distrusted. Sara started isolating herself from others. She stopped working for Nest Seekers and became involved in a dispute with them over a $200,000 commission. She was obsessed about losing a listing and not receiving the commission. Ultimately, Sara sold her condominium and her vehicle and adopted a homeless lifestyle. Money problems were not the motive. Sara was doing well financially. She could have ended her homeless status at any time. Her mother was going to get her an apartment, but Sara said she didn't want it because she thought it was bugged by the U.S. government. Sara spent countless hours in the Rogers Memorial Library in Southampton, apparently researching documents that she believed would help her with her legal dispute. She set up a GoFundMe looking for $276,000. On the campaign, Sara wrote, quote, "I've faced significant challenges in combating predatory lending practices and greed scams affecting my real estate clients and myself. This battle has led to defamation and placed me with a critical health situation due to unethical conduct and civil rights violations by public officials and attorneys, as well as misconduct within New York state courts and large corporations." Despite her passionate appeal for help, Sara did not attract any donations at all. By 2025, Sara Burack was a well-known homeless person in the Hamptons. She was often seen pulling her luggage around the area. Now moving to the timeline of the crime. On Thursday, June 19, 2025, at 2:45 a.m., a motorist called 911 after finding 40-year-old Sara Burack unconscious and injured on Montauk Highway near the Villa Paul restaurant in Hampton Bays. Sara was transported to Stony Brook University Hospital, where she died in the afternoon. Here's what the police found during the course of their investigation. At 10:45 p.m. on June 18, Sara visited a taxi depot asking for a cardboard box. She appeared to be combative, did not smell too good, and her hair was dirty. She told an employee there that she was taking showers at the local Planet Fitness. At 2:45 a.m., now on June 19, Sara was walking on the westbound lane of Montauk Highway while carrying or pulling a large pink wheeled suitcase. It was foggy at this time. The police said that a 32-year-old marine biologist from Virginia named Amanda Kempton slammed into Sara, mortally wounding her. Amanda then drove away from the scene. They were able to catch Amanda after the vehicle she was driving was captured by a license plate reader. On Friday, June 20, Amanda Kempton was arrested and charged with leaving the scene of a motor vehicle accident involving a fatality. This is a Class D felony. If convicted, she faces up to 7 years in prison. Her bail was set at $100,000, and she was released. At the time I'm making this video, Amanda is working her way through the criminal justice system. Now moving to my analysis. Amanda Kempton maintains her innocence. Her lawyer told the court that Amanda thought she hit a traffic cone and that alcohol was not a factor in this case. The state, of course, disagrees. The prosecutor claimed that Amanda had spent time in a tavern prior to the fatal collision. This brings me to the question, was Amanda guilty of leaving the scene of a motor vehicle accident involving a fatality? Let's take a look at the evidence both for and against the idea that she was guilty, starting with the inculpatory factors. Based on the state's claim that Amanda was in a tavern before the collision, it seems possible that she had been drinking. Sometimes that's what people do in taverns. There was damage to the front end of the vehicle that Amanda was driving. Striking a traffic cone would cause little or no damage. Amanda should know the difference between hitting a traffic cone and hitting a person. Amanda drove to a friend's home after striking Sara and found Sara's pink suitcase lodged under her vehicle. Dragging a suitcase would make a lot of noise. Once Amanda saw the pink suitcase, why didn't she call the police immediately? Now moving to the exculpatory factors. If Sara was really walking in the traveled portion of the roadway, then her negligence contributed to the fatal collision. It was foggy at the time of the collision, which arguably reduces or eliminates Amanda's culpability. Amanda was a marine biologist, not a motor vehicle expert. Maybe she could not tell the difference between a traffic cone and a suitcase being dragged by her vehicle. When considering all the evidence in this case, do I believe that Amanda was guilty? In my opinion, yes. The standard for the offense she is charged with is the person knew or should have known they caused injury or death. If the investigation reveals that Amanda was not intoxicated, then I think a plea deal would be appropriate in this case. Again, Sara's behavior and the foggy conditions contributed to the tragedy. What do I think happened in this case? This is just a theory, my opinion. It sounds like Sara Burack developed mental health difficulties. For example, she believed that people were putting anthrax in her food, believed the government was spying on her, was obsessed with a lawsuit, voluntarily became homeless, and had hygiene problems. Sara was allegedly using large quantities of Adderall at the time of her death. Misuse of this drug can lead to psychotic symptoms like paranoia, delusional thinking, hallucinations, agitation, aggression, and disorganized thinking. It's possible that Sara became psychotic using Adderall, or she developed psychosis independent of her substance use. Either way, it does appear as though Sara was having reality testing problems. Once this happened, her friends may have distanced themselves from her. For example, her former lover said, quote, "She had a million friends, she had material things, immaterial things, she had everything. But once things started going wrong for her, they all scattered," unquote. As far as what could explain the Adderall use, this could be tied in with the fast-paced, high-pressure, glamorous lifestyle of a real estate agent in the Hamptons. This job is all about image and deals that are high stakes. The pressure to perform can be overwhelming. Maybe Sara took Adderall in order to be more productive, not realizing the drug could make her psychotic. Her intent was to excel, but the drug ended up taking everything from her, including her life. Now moving to my final thoughts. When looking at the reality TV shows $1 Million Beach House and Selling the Hamptons, it struck me how The lifestyle they glamorized was actually quite shallow and empty. In the Hamptons, builders construct these extravagant, over-the-top houses to be ideal for entertaining. This is all about people wanting to look a certain way, to impress others, to be thought of as superior. They want people to come to their parties and think, wow, the homeowner is really rich. They appreciate the finer things in life. I wish I could be like them. They have it all. Ironically, the reality shows demonstrate how these people don't have it all. Rather, they are trapped in a meaningless and materialistic existence, desperately trying to prove how they are special. The shows are popular because viewers want to know what it's like to have tens of millions or hundreds of millions of dollars. Just for a moment, they want to experience the thrill of that lifestyle. What would it feel like to live in a $15 million mansion and entertain glamorous guests until the early morning hours? The TV shows and the tragedy that Sara experienced provide the same answer. The lifestyle may be dazzling from the outside, but on the inside, it is void of meaning. When the market forces that drive luxury home values are arrogance, a need to feel special, and grandiosity, the industry that supports the transfer of these properties will be equally warped. There is no better metaphor for the Hamptons than a once glamorous real estate agent, homeless and dragging a pink suitcase, dying on a foggy roadway, while everyone else sleeps in mansions built for entertaining people they secretly despise. In a world where the prevailing design style is best described as coastal farmhouse meets postmodern panic room, it's no wonder the residents are just as disjointed, chaotic, and desperate to look like something they're not. Those are my thoughts in the case of Sara Burack. Thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you soon.